Hello everyone. So far on our channel, when we were talking about Aikido techniques, we were mainly presenting the basic versions, what we call the basic variants of the technique, which are the ones that we use usually, or which we show usually during the rank demonstrations. But many techniques have different variants, different variations that you can apply, depending on the situation. And so today we'll start looking a little bit at the variations of different techniques. And the first one we look at with Durward is Katate-dori kokyunage. So let's have a look at a few different ways of doing this technique.
Okay, so let's take a look at some different variations of Katate-dori kokyunage, so a single-handed attack with kokyunage. So we'll start really just first with a basic one, okay? And I'm going to ask my partner to do Katate-dori. As I do this one, I'm going to turn like Tanohenko and a simple forward projection, okay? And that's a pretty simple one. Most beginners can usually do that one as well. There's another variation where we do kind of the same thing. We step in, but this time with an arimi step. And instead of going forward, we're going to slide back and do a kokyunage behind us, okay? Where it goes back. And that would be another one. And that's kind of a classical kokyunage that we see from maybe even O-sensei videos, right? When we start to get into some other variations, it starts to sometimes get a little bit more dynamic. So let's take a look at one more just from the basic static grab. We're going to be here. And this time what I'm going to do is cut open. I'm going to sneak under, go behind, and send my partner forward. Okay? So just to show you one more time, this is almost a basic, great setup for a different type of technique called kaiten-nage. So as I open, I would go through, connect, and kokyunage forward. Okay? That would be a different type. Now we could actually put these types of Katate-dori kokyunages into motion or in kino nagare, and that starts to also give more variations. So for one example, we could do a Katate-dori and start to turn a little bit more. Okay? So as he comes in, he's going to grab it. I'm going to actually turn. Okay? Kind of a spiraling movement. Right? Let's maybe do it from here so we get a slightly different angle. But as I tenkan, I turn, and as he comes into it, then the spiral, as it turns, creates the kokyunage. Okay? Let's take a look at two more variations. One is very similar to one that we just looked at, where I go under the arm. When my partner comes in, I'm going to turn again. And this time, I let him continue as I go under the arm, and then stepping into a kokyunage. Okay? So once again, turn, let him come around, and as he comes around, then I lead him into the kokyunage. Okay? We'll take a look at one more variation that's actually quite simple. And this one's actually kind of a nice one. You can work this particular kokyunage at different levels. So a very basic level that would be starting with static, and I can open and step in, catching my partner's balance, okay, and center. We can also start to work this in a little bit more dynamic sense, where he steps in and I do it more in kino nagare, okay? And I can even be even more dynamic and open, and then come in, okay? And that would be a more advanced version. So we can even work up different variations at different levels. And that just gives you a really beginning idea about how we can advance and do different types of variations for techniques. Thanks for joining, and if you have any comments below, any other ideas for Katate-dori kokyunages, I'm sure there's hundreds of them, then please leave some comments below.